'Twas the night before Christmas when all through the town not a child was stirring, not even young Brown. The stockings were hung by the chimney with care, but some kids forgot that Krampus would be there. The naughty ones nestled all snug in their beds, while visions of mischief danced in their heads. They'd teased and they'd bullied, they'd lied and they'd fought, never thinking their actions would see them caught. When out on the roof there arose such a clatter, the bad children sprung up to see what was the matter. Away to the window they flew like a flash, tore open the shutters and threw up the sash. The moon on the breast of the new-fallen snow gave the luster of midday to objects below, when what to their wondering eyes should appear but a monstrous figure, inspiring great fear. With a pair of curved horns and eyes glowing red, they knew in a moment it must be the dread. More rapid than eagles his footsteps they came, and he growled and he snarled and he called them by name. Now Tommy, now Sally, now Billy and Jean, your actions this year have been terribly mean. To the top of the porch, to the top of the wall, now face consequences all. As dry leaves that before the wild hurricane fly, when met with an obstacle, mount to the sky, so down to the basement the children they fled, with hearts full of dread and faces so red. And then, in a twinkling, they heard on the roof the prancing and pawing of each cloven hoof. As they drew in their heads and were turning around, down the chimney Krampus came with a bound. He was covered in fur from his head to his hoof, and his clothes were all tarnished with ashes and soot. A bundle of switches he had flung on his back, and he looked like a nightmare just ready to attack. His eyes glowed like embers, his face gaunt and grim. His cheeks were like shadows, his features so slim. His mouth full of fangs was stretched in a snarl, and his beard, tangled branches, made the children all quarrel. He was scary and dark, a right frightful old elf, and they cried when they saw him, in spite of themselves. A wink of his eye and a twist of his head soon gave them to know they had everything to dread. He spoke not a word, but went straight to his work, and filled all their stockings with coal and a jerk. And laying his finger aside of his nose, and giving a nod, up the chimney he rose. He sprang in his sleigh, to his team he gave a whistle, and away they all flew like the down of a thistle. But they heard him exclaim, ere he drove out of sight, "Be good all year round, not just on Christmas night." The children, now chastened, crept back into bed, vowing to be kinder and better instead. For they learned that night, in a manner quite scary, that being good mattered, to avoid Krampus's fury.